Hi Athri, welcome.
Yeah, hi. Good morning.
So
Okay,
I
hi,
will be
Athri.
hosting you and the rest of the class. Okay?
Sure, sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So guys, we will start now, and I will quickly introduce Athri, and then I will like have some conversation with Athri, and then I will open the Zoom session for rest of the students. All right. I hope that's okay with Athri as well.
yeah, sure. Yeah, good.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Athri is like our last year student, and he has like enrolled YourPedia last year, and he has got the master's opportunity at University of Southern California. Athri, can you please tell me which campus you are in currently? University of Southern California, which campus?
So USC has one campus, which is situated in Los Angeles, California. So I'm right now
Okay.
in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so he has already applied to many of the universities last year and finally got his selection in this University of USC, and which is top 20 ranked. So, Athri, I will like ask you first to briefly introduce yourself, please.
Sure. Yeah. So I basically come from an electronics background, and like Sanjam sir mentioned, I started my master's journey this year, and I started my journey with YourPedia last year when I started to explore my options. So I completed my BTech in 2019, and then afterwards I worked for 3 years in a core company, and which is when once this COVID thing everything got settled down, I started looking at like different options, and I think YourPedia people helped me shortlist and then also with drafting SOP, LORs, and those things. And I did apply for 7 different universities, and I got into 6 of them, which are all very prestigious. But for me, considering my industry, electronics, and the location preferences, and various career opportunities, I think California seemed a better fit, so I chose
Yeah.
USC.
Athri, for
So
the sake of completeness, can you please name some of the universities that you applied and got admit?
sure. So coming from like uh, I think middle part of US, so from Texas, it was like a Texas AMU, TAMO I got in, and then University of Minnesota Twin City I got into, um, ASU, and then some of the safe universities I obviously got into, like ASU,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got into I think, which was the other one, North Carolina State University,
Okay.
NCSU. And then I did get into Purdue, and then
Okay.
I think I'm forgetting one other name.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah,
Okay, apart from the American continent, have you applied to any other part of the world?
not really actually. Again,
Hmm.
discussing my options with electronics, and that in particular VLSI domain, which I'm
Yeah.
currently in. USA or US seems to be the best bet, and I did not apply to any
Yeah.
other countries.
Okay. Okay. Three, if you remember, all in all, how much money did you spend just for the application sake?
Um, I think I do have an Excel sheet where I tracked all the expenses. So it amounted
That's a good thing.
around
Yeah.
it amounted around a lakh, because of like various
Hmm.
things, like the exam fees to apply for, like to write GRE, to write to IELTS, and
Yeah.
then the application fees, and also then the I-20 amount, like $350, like, and service fee basically. So all of these,
Okay.
like, I think it would add up to a lakh, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, did you also try like how early? I mean, I wanted to ask like how early one ideal student should start applying like or start exploring the opportunities or you can say a person is in third year of bachelor's in Indian academic system like that is BTech. If a person is in third year of their BTech, like is it the right time or if they are in second year, is it the right time? How do you say that?
I think third year would be ideally. I think should be enough to like get started with their journey. I think that's the perfect time to start the
Mm-hmm.
preparation for GRE, start the preparation for IELTS, and then start exploring the universities,
Yeah.
because it's gonna take some time, and for you to wrap your head around like all the things that needs to go right for you to be in
Yeah.
for university. So I think a third year seems should be a good starting point, I guess.
Okay. Okay. And what is the importance of CV? Like, I mean, I have several questions apart from CV, but I saw your CV and it's like quite good. Apart from this, what do they look for? Like, do they look for your bachelor's university, like from where you have like completed your bachelor's, or do they look for industry experience as you have already? So what are the other factors that they look for?
So so what I have analyzed, or what's my take on it, is like looking at my friends here and like various other like my colleagues who
Mm-hmm.
applied with me. So the main important aspect is how well can you get back to the academic world, and excel is what being looked at. So by which I
Mm-hmm.
mean, although industry experience is very relevant, and it does
Mm-hmm.
take into account, it does count for something, but your btech cgpa, as well as your research performance, maybe if you have any papers that you have written, or any conferences you have attended, and or presented
Yeah.
any paper. So they just want you to show some skills in academia, which will ensure that you are a good fit to get back to academics from industrial world, is what in my case it was very true. um,
Mm-hmm.
so I would say, like when it comes to LOR, which is very relevant for LOR, because people often like get a lot of LORs from their companies and all of those, but I think the
Yeah.
weightage is given more to the LORs from your professors, who can talk more about your academic interests and your
Exactly.
research
Mm-hmm.
interests. So they would definitely gain more prominence over the corporate or LORs. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. Okay, what are the most important like documents have you analyzed? Like you have applied to several universities, right? Like 20 plus universities you applied. So what is the
Mhm.
crucial document that every university has been asking for and that was hard to get for you initially? Something like that. If you can comment on this.
So when I started exploring the universities, and I think the first thing I did was to go through the requirements page and get myself prepared for all the things required. So first thing is to prepare an SOP in a one page format, or CV format, in American, like
Yeah.
the standard templates, and then also SOPs and LORs, all of these. And if there are like there are two ways. One, they also ask for personal statements. So I even prepared like cover letters, a couple of cover letters, if need
Yeah.
be. So I think the first thing is to like get yourself acquainted with what are the requirements, and then start preparing for in that regard. But for me personally, I did not find any document that was crucial, and I missed out, or I did not have it in place.
Okay. Athri, I need to like I want to continue with the same question. Like as you have already applied to many universities, it might be the case. I mean, it there is a likely high chance that you would be applying for different specialization for masters as well, right? So if that is the case, and the university has been asking for cover letter or maybe like a statement of purpose or statement of research, did you try to like modify as per the university requirement or the position requirement, or you just uploaded the same SOP or like same cover letter everywhere?
I think this is one point that I cannot stress enough, and I think thank you for the
Mm-hmm.
question.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really important one. So, what happens
Mm-hmm.
often is a student, or when I was in the process as well, when I see many people, they just generically prepare one document and then try to
Yeah.
reuse it everywhere. I think that's one really like not a good thing to go for, because every university, they would expect you to explore their website, and then know a little bit of the program what you're applying for. And then
Yeah.
when you see some of the SOPs here, when what my friends who are currently studying with me, so the
Mm-hmm.
every SOP is so tailor made to each university that when you read about it,
Yeah.
the admission committee instantly uh, finds out that okay, this student is genuinely interested in, and we would
Yeah.
want love to have him here. So that's the kind of feeling that you would want the admission committee to have. And I think uh, making it generic would be a huge turn off. So I think I would say,
Mm-hmm.
even in my case, I did have a backbone kind of thing, where
Exactly.
what
Yeah.
are the points that I needed to include in my SOP, and these cover letters I had them in place. But then
Mm-hmm.
every time I used to for every university I did personalize it, and I add more
Yeah. So you prepared
relevant
one
points.
skeleton and yeah, you prepared one skeleton and modified it continuously, right?
Yes,
For
definitely, yeah.
different, yeah, yeah.
Right.
One thing I want to ask, like, have you encountered about World Education Service or document verification from for the American continent or something like that while applying to the universities?
um the evaluation part you're talking about, like to verify the
Yes,
degree.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, so yes, the American universities do have this requirement for them to verify your
Mm-hmm,
undergraduate degree, and each of the
mm-hmm,
universities have different ways of doing it. For my
mm-hmm.
particular university, if I were to talk about USC, it's IERF who verifies the degree.
Okay.
We do have so they give something called admissions hold, registration hold, I would say. So which
Mm-hmm,
basically
mm-hmm.
allows you a time frame of about first one semester, because many people who directly come from their undergrad, and the American universities know that Indian universities take a lot of time to give up their actual
Mm-hmm.
degrees, like around a year. So they just put a casual hold on your
Yes.
course registration for your second year, if you don't verify your degree within that first year of your studies.
Okay.
So I think that is something very common, but the process, like the way of what is being done in different universities is quite different. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry for like asking, but these are like the questions that I have gathered from different, different students and all. So I'll continue with some couple of questions and I will open the house for these other students. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah, Athri, have you like found any particular way of earning once you have enrolled for masters? Like, see, in Indian education system, where we see that masters or MTech students are, given opportunities for teaching assistant, research fellowship. Are there opportunities like that there?
Yes, yeah. So right now, I am also working as a so my domain is VLSI. So when I
Mm-hmm.
came here, I think the first 2-3 months is what it takes some time.
Mm-hmm.
It's setup time to get
Yeah.
everything like in place. But right now, I'm working as
Yes.
a research assistant with one of the laboratories here. It's called Institute of
Mm-hmm.
ISI. It's called Institute of Science and Research, I think, something like that.
Okay.
So it was very relevant to my work experience, and it does add value to my resume. So I took up that job.
Yeah.
But when I see in general, there are a lot of opportunities. It just how much
Yeah.
time and effort you put into exploring them. So there are opportunities starting from like more
Mm-hmm.
unskilled labor point, works like working in a restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
or working in a bookstore. So
Mm-hmm.
there are ample opportunities. And then starting from there, you
Mm-hmm.
can apply for graders and course producers, these kind of roles where you work with a
Yeah,
professor
but
on
it's
a particular
always better
course.
that you get a skilled one, right? I mean, it's always
Yes,
better that you get aligned with your curriculum and with your interest. So even if you think
yes.
about PhD, then you can continue with the same thing, right?
Definitely, yeah. If that's
Yeah.
very much preferred one, but in the worst case scenario,
Mm-hmm.
even if you don't find that, so the such
Yeah.
opportunities, there are always there are multiple ways of
Yeah,
earning your like the living expenses here. And also, I mean, I have actually almost like I earn double what I spend per month. So I've started to like invest and
yeah,
also save a couple of things, I
great,
think. So yeah,
nice.
you can definitely plan yourself. And I don't think expenses should be the blocking
Yeah,
point for you, because US gives a lot of options for that,
I
because many
understand.
people do multiple jobs and they still study. I have a friend who works three jobs and also studies at USC. So US basically caters that, or like nurtures that kind of like the responsibility,
Environment, yeah.
the environment. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, very nice. So Athri, like another question just to continue. So I saw your CV, and I can see that your BTech CGP is very good. I mean, very high as well. So
Hmm.
like, but what other things? Like, I would say, I mean, I would ask you, like, let's say a student have a 7 CGPA or 8 CGPA, how that student can, modify or transform their CV so that they get their chances high with 8 CGPA or 7 CGPA.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Again, that's a very interesting question, because, like I mentioned earlier, what universities are looking for is your academic orientation towards that particular degree. How
Mm-hmm.
aligned are you to pursue that particular degree at their university? Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
they do not want to compromise on their quality, and they do have a reputation to maintain, because they are,
Yeah.
again, it's a competitive world, so nothing comes for free. So
Yeah.
if you have a low CGPA, that's definitely not a like huge blunder or something. So you I would say the research papers that you can start working on some of the research papers, and then maybe initially you can just so I do know a couple of my friends who did kind of coagulation kind of thing. So there are multiple different ideas
Mm-hmm.
around a particular research topic, and what they
Mm-hmm.
do is they just collate all the ideas into one paper and then give a summary of what seems to be the best approach in all of these that they. But
Mm-hmm.
that does take a lot of literature survey, and so, but it's not very
Yeah.
hard to do that when you start with it. But when you do it in a relevant domain that you want to pursue a degree, so when you highlight those, and trust me, when you every point in your CV is looked at. So if you put a
Mm-hmm.
research paper link or any like the publication number, the admissions committee does go to the website and read your research paper. They give out that much time to ensure the quality in the university. So just make
Mm-hmm.
sure that you don't compromise on that, and you start working towards like relevant courses as well. Like there are ample like websites like for Udemy, Coursera, where you get
Mm-hmm.
very relevant courses that would help you stand out among the crowd. So CGPA
Yeah.
is maybe one thing, but there are multiple things like these that I mentioned a few, which
Yeah.
will definitely help you to stand out and show your interest. That's what they're looking for. So if you can
Yeah.
show that you're actually interested in the domain, they would be more than happy
Mm-hmm.
to accommodate you there.
Yeah, I mean, in continuation with that, I also looked that you have, cleared, like not only cleared, but qualified with very great percentile in GATE, right? So, do you
Hmm.
think, or like, is it like that they also, I mean, they know about GATE exam? Like in India, they conduct this all India level GATE exam, which is very competitive and which is very, prestigious as well, as equivalent to, undergrad level. So do you think like that will also add a benefit on that?
So I did not see an instance where explicitly gate score was
Mm-hmm.
considered into play, but gate
Mm-hmm.
exam is, as you mentioned, is quite popular, and across the world,
Yeah.
like the universities know about these. So I think that's something that's very much that I got to know once I got in here, was that although we consider like Indian system is quite different than what happens everywhere else, but when a university is at a global scale, they need to know like what how is the system that goes on in every other place.
Yeah.
So they do make an effort, and they know gate exam is very prestigious,
Yeah.
and IITs and NITs are very prestigious. So when it comes to college ranking as well, the name you put there what you have done in what's the college that you have studied BTech. They look at the NERF ranking, because that's equivalent to like
Mm-hmm.
that's what in India is being considered standard. So yeah,
Yeah.
those things also matter, but explicitly I
But
haven't
at the same time, yeah, but at the same time, it's not like that. I mean, only IITs or NITs people are given preference, right? I mean, other three-tier or say two-tier university students from India can also go and I mean get into these universities, right?
yeah,
University, USC,
yes.
like
Yes, yeah. So
yeah,
I'm not from NIT or NIT, but like I
yeah,
mentioned, so either like you need to show that academic inclination and
exactly,
interest towards the subject and interest towards the domain that you're applying for. It doesn't matter if you can show it through your academics, through your college, or through your research work, or through your courses, or maybe through your
yeah,
projects, what you have worked on. So ultimately they just want you to succeed here in the university, and they don't want, because many a times student consider is like the universities are have kept their bar very high and I can't meet it. But they need to keep that
mhm,
bar high, because once you get in here, the
yeah,
coursework is like exhaustive, and I think that bar is set to for you to ensure that you don't come here and have a huge heart attack, because you need to be
I
at
understand.
such level imbibe the subject here and then succeed. So that is why they ensure that you can take up that kind of you are in the level to take up that kind of subject, and the courses that are taught in these universities. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Athri. These were all my side of questions. I will open the session for 15 minutes to the students, and then we can conclude. Is it okay for you?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go on mute, and I would request students to please, like raise their hand, and then I will call out the name, and by that manner we can continue. Okay, first is Guitar. Guitar, please continue.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, am I audible?
Uh, yes, Guitar, you are audible. Please continue.
Yeah. Congratulations, Athri, for your admit to such a college. So, first of all, I have a question regarding the documentation part, actually. So, after getting the admit from USC, so after that, what are the documentations or what are the processes that you are gone through, like the I-20 fill-ups or sending original transcripts and documents to the university? So, can you please describe about that?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. And first of all, thank you for the wishes. Yeah. So if I have to go over the process uh, that I went through to be here, is basically once I got the admit, I think I did uh, like had it very clear in my mind that USC was the place I wanted to go for once I had a couple of admits. And then once I made up my mind, I think the visa process, like the I-20 process that you're talking about, so you need to start preparing for that. And also in parallel, I also I did know that I needed an education loan to pursue my master's here. So I did start parallelly looking at different banks and what are my options to get an education loan. I think that's the other thing. Again, there are multiple different options available and multiple different like institutions which provide these education loan. I think I have also one before talked to Vijender sir in one of the interviews about the funding process, like the NBFCs, and there are government banks, and what are the different criterias, and what the ease of getting these loans and all of those. So yeah, I think that's one thing. And if you talk about documentation as such, there is not a lot of them. I think just filling up your DS-160 to that's basically your visa application to apply for F1 visa, and then getting your slots booked, and then finalizing on your funding. And then in my university, at least, the degree verification or sending of the official transcripts is only I mean, they give time till end of your first 2 semesters, which basically 1 year in the US. So I have not yet done my degree verification. So I am supposed to send it like in 3 days. So I'm planning for that. But what I prepared for is basically I got my official transcripts in a sealed envelope, and how the university would require it for it to be official and not tampered. So I have them in place. I got it with me, and I'm just I did not stress out doing it from India. So I just I'm in the process right now. So I think these are the ones that comes to my mind. But if you have any specific document that you want me to talk about, do let me know. I can uh, talk about that.
Yeah, thank you so much for the information. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, I think Utkarsh is having another question. Utkarsh, please continue. Utkarsh, you want to continue? Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry, sir. I'm really sorry. So now I'm audible?
Mhm. Yes, you're audible. Yes, please
Okay,
continue.
okay. Yeah, so hello, Athri. Actually, I want to ask that if I'm planning for the fall semester, and what is going to be the difference between the opportunities for getting admitted in the fall semester or in the spring semester, according to your experience? Can you please elaborate on that?
Sure. So universities, different universities have multiple intakes, and there is also one more intake called summer intake that they do take students. So and these intakes, like if I have to put it in a descending order, like the number of students they take in fall is the most preferred, and about 70% of the intakes happens fall. And then the spring semester also maybe around 25%, and then maybe a very few 5% of it starts with summer, and not many degrees actually accept students in summer. So yeah, and when it comes to acceptance rate, I would say fall is usually what is like the if you consider like a proper academic year starting to ending, like what the academic year in any university starts is from fall and spring is considered one a kind of joint, and then there is summer, which usually do not like you're not required to take up any coursework. You can do internships, you can do any other like off campus, like in CPT, because you'll already be in the US for the first 9 months where you're not allowed to work. So I would say if you get in fall, I think to work in summer would like you would be good to go. You're set for that. But if you come in spring, I think that's one. I mean, there is advantage as well as disadvantage. If you come in spring, if you're someone who wants more setup time to come here and get settled and then be more comfortable, I think spring will give you a lot more time than like fall students, because fall students have to right away when I landed here. I think I just left for like took my time for 1 week to get set up, and then I had to start looking for internship and all that. So right now that I have an internship, I am pretty much like very like I got into a more calm mode now. But fall students have this do not have a lot of setup time, so they need to be on their toes and start looking at these things instantly. But spring, you have the spring semester and fall semester to look at, and there are not many internships that in spring that you can apply for, because mostly summer internships are what the companies prefer. So you will have 3 semesters to prepare for it and then work in the consecutive year. So it depends on your preference and how you want to do it. Considering my background and the funding and everything, what I had planned in place, so I think my internship should the summer internship, I wanted it to cover for my at least 1 semester tuition. So that is when I that's why I planned for fall, and then once I do my summer internship, I think the third semester I'm planning to cover through that. So I think it depends on a very it's an individual choice.
Thank you, Athri. It's a
Sure.
lovely explanation
Um,
you again. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Athri. That was very nice. Like that was very nice explanation. Yeah. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Okay, there's one guy who has asked, how is your resume like GPA, publication number? Rejuan, if you want to unmute yourself and talk about it.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, please continue. Yes, you are
Yeah.
audible. Please
I want to
continue.
know about your resume, like GPA and publication number.
Sorry, what was the question? I don't know.
Yeah, I want to know about your resume, sir. Like the GPA and publication number, what you have in your resume.
My particular case you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Sure, yeah. So I have a CGPA of 9.1 overall, and I did publish a paper in object detection and machine learning. So, which was and basically we employed DSP algorithm. So I don't know how relevant it is. Are you from electronics background? So just I can ask
No,
I can just
sir.
get in
I
touch with
am
Sanim
from
sir.
computer science.
Computer science, okay. But this is more of like machine learning in electronics domain, like how hardware can interpret it and how it can detect objects and train itself to like detect those. It's more relevant to that. But if you're very interested, get in touch with Sanyam sir. I think I'll share my email address with him. Just shoot me an email. I'll can send it across.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I believe there are no more questions, and I would like to conclude with thankful note to Athri to taking out the time and briefly explaining all those things and taking the questions as well. So Athri, thank you so much for attending, and yeah, we can conclude now. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, it was my pleasure to be part of this, and I don't and just share my experience and thoughts. So thank you so much for
Yeah.
having me. Yeah, have a
Okay. All
I think
right.
it's nighttime, so good night everyone. So thanks for having me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. All right. Bye.